Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about soda, but I want you to forget everything you think you know about calories. We're diving deep into decades of research from Harvard to uncover the hidden story of how these drinks are actually affecting our bones, our DNA, and even our hearts. Let's get right into it.
So right off the bat, let's get one thing straight. This is not another talk about empty calories or gaining a few pounds. No, the science we're looking at today goes so much deeper than that, and honestly, it's way more concerning.
We're going to connect the dots between that can of soda and three absolutely critical parts of your health: your skeleton, your literal genetic code, and your cardiovascular system. So what has more than 20 years of research actually revealed?
Okay, let's start with the first piece of this puzzle. It comes from a Harvard study all the way back in 2000, and it uncovered this really unexpected link between something we see every day, soda, and the very foundation of our bodies, our bones, especially when we're young.
The results were pretty shocking. Teenage girls who drank soda had a 3 times higher risk of bone fractures. 3 times. And this is happening during the most important years for building bone mass. You know, the skeletal savings account they're supposed to live on for the rest of their lives.
Now here's where it gets kind of wild. You'd think, okay, being an athlete, being physically active, that should protect you, right? Nope. The study found that the most physically active girls who drank soda had a mind-blowing 5 times the risk. The main suspect here? Phosphoric acid, which you find in a lot of colas. The theory is that it messes with how the body uses calcium to build strong bones.
And this really gets to the heart of it. A doctor involved in this area, Dr. Neville Golden, put it perfectly. He said this makes osteoporosis not just a disease for older people, but a pediatric disease with geriatric consequences. The habits you form as a kid can literally set the stage for your health decades later.
So we've talked about structural damage, but the story actually goes deeper, right into our cells. A 2012 study showed how sugary drinks can interact with our genetic code itself, basically turning up the volume on our risk from the inside out.
First, let's just quickly define something. When scientists talk about genetic predisposition, they just mean that your DNA might give you a slightly higher chance of developing something. It's not a guarantee, not by a long shot, but it means your body might be a little more sensitive to certain things in your environment.
And this is just the perfect way to think about what the researchers found. For some people, their genes are kind of like a loaded gun when it comes to obesity, but it's drinking a lot of sugary beverages that actually seems to be what pulls the trigger.
Okay, so let's break down this chart from the study, because it's really important. It shows how soda affects body mass index, or BMI, depending on your genetic risk. Now look over on the left side. For people with a low genetic risk, yeah, sugary drinks have a pretty small effect. But now look all the way over to the right. The people with the highest genetic risk. For them, the exact same drinks have a massively bigger impact on their BMI.
So here's the key takeaway. The study found that for people drinking at least 1 sugary drink a day, the effect their genes had on their BMI was about twice as big as it was for people who hardly drank any. It's this powerful interaction between our habits and our biology. This brings us to that one excuse we've all probably used at some point. But does it actually hold up when you put it to the test? Well, a huge study from Harvard in 2024 decided to find out.
We've all said it, right? Oh, I can have this soda. I'll just go for a run later. Or I'll work it off at the gym. It feels like it makes sense, like a simple math equation of calories in and calories out. But what if the risk isn't just about the calories? What if there's some other kind of damage happening that you can't just undo on a treadmill? To figure this out, scientists looked at data from over 100,000 people collected over 30 years.
And the answer they found was a resounding no. Just 1 sugary drink a day was linked to an 18% higher risk of cardiovascular disease. And here's the kicker. That risk was there regardless of how much a person exercised.
And this is the part we really need to hear. Even people who were hitting that recommended 150 minutes of exercise every week still had a 21% higher risk of heart disease if they were drinking 2 or more sugary drinks a day. The message couldn't be clearer. Exercise is not a shield. You just can't outrun this kind of damage. So we've looked at the evidence on our bones, our genes, and our hearts. When you finally connect all those dots, what's the final verdict?
You know, this timeline really puts everything into perspective. For more than 20 years, the science has been building this incredibly clear case. It started with a physical risk to our skeletons, then it moved to the genetic level, showing how these drinks can literally flip switches in our DNA, and finally, it confirmed that the danger to our hearts is something that even hard work at the gym can't erase.
So the next time you reach for a sugary drink, the real question isn't just about calories. It's about your bones, it's about your genes, it's about your heart. It's about all this research pointing to hidden risks that are way more complicated and way more serious than we ever thought. Thanks for joining me.